Hey, we're back. We're not where you think we're at. I'm here behind the giant warehouse area where we've been loading up with Heavy D with all this crane. There was a whole bunch of scrap metal here and some other stuff, some rigging, and we were doing that, and we had to stop for a little bit because they went on a trip over to Texas. And as I was just doing some work out here, I ended up talking with one of the ladies, and this cargo container did not go up the auction. It was sitting here. Apparently we're just gonna leave it. So I asked him, hey, I could use a cargo container, especially up at the fortress, for because the shop had burnt down. I could use something to put all my tools that I'm now getting until we can get the fortress sealed up. And holy smokes, they sold it to me. So I got it. It was hooked onto the power. I disconnected the power. There was 3-phase. But it's a 40-footer. But the issue is, you know, I can look back into here. There is an interconnect to this big warehouse building. So I've come here on lunch to cut that off real quick to make sure this cargo container is ready to go. But it's not just a cargo container. I didn't know, and I figured it was just an empty cargo container, not a big deal. But there was some goodies inside, so let's take a look. Well, as we walk right down here, gotta find this little opening right here. It looks like we're going into a mine or a cave. So, brought a little flashlight. They made this interconnect out of 1/4-inch plate steel, so I'm gonna have to cut through here. It's got a lip. Thinking it probably, yeah, I'm just gonna probably have to cut somewhere around here, up and down. But look what we have in here. Some nice big heavy duty metal shelving, like a shop table, some stuff I don't have any clue what it is. We've got this big huge door. There is one little leak right in that spot, which I can patch up, but it's a pretty heavy duty steel door that closes this. I mean, that's a pretty massive steel. Oh, look, it's got all these hooks on the back. I didn't even see those for hanging stuff up. And then we got more shelving with some weird stuff. More shelving. More shelving. More shelving all the way to, this is the cargo container entrance, and I couldn't initially get it open, and I realized why. They had a 2x4 there, so you can't open it. So it's pretty interesting. Now this is like really, really long. I mean, I'm guessing it's a 40-footer, but it almost looks longer than that. So this is going to be the new mini portable shop up at the fortress. Now the question is how I'm going to get this up there. Now I've gotten 20-foot cargo containers all the way up. I put them on the back of the military trucks, but I have no real clue yet how I'm going to get this thing all the way up there. I can get it to the bottom of the mountain easy, but to get that huge container, I am not really sure how I'm going to do it. So maybe I'll have to run a winch cable all the way down one of the sides of the mountain and just winch it all the way to the top. So, well, I'm gonna get the oxyacetylene and start cutting. Well, trying to figure out the best place, I'm just gonna start cutting. Figured I was gonna cut out here, but I decided to cut closer to the container. So, oh, where's my glasses? Whew. Need my glasses. Cut through one plate, there's a plate underneath. So I'm gonna have to go outside, take a look and see what's going on. Just that there's angle at the edges. So I gotta cut through two pieces. Let's just see if we can get the floor cut. A little hard, they got rust on the surface. Trying to blow some of the rust off. And my cut can continue. Sort of hard, I'm holding the camera and the cutting torch at the same time. All right, well, I will continue on cutting and then we'll get back to see where we are. Well, I'm doing pretty good now. I've got it cut all the way down one side and all the way over to here. I just need this last bit right here. So I've got basically half of it done, but it's hard to cut when you're going upside down. So just keep working and get it done. Ooh, got it. But there was some tension on it. When I finished the last cut right over here, made a small explosion sound, ka-chung. Well, there's one thing I didn't, so it seems to me they welded this to this building. Yeah, something like that. So I'm actually really glad I cut it right there. I mean, it'd be nice to take this, but I think I'm just gonna leave this door frame right here. No use me trying to spend all the time just cutting off this old metal. I mean, there's some nice metal there, but not worth it. I mean, the amount that I pay, it's my time and effort. It's just better to buy me a 4x8 sheet of steel. So that's good. Now I'm disconnected and we're ready to have this thing moved. Oh, I just realized there is some power conduit right here. Gotta fill tool room. I'm wondering if this is that, and I'm gonna have to yeah, all these are here. Bet you this is what's called the tool room. I bet you that's go there. So I'm going to check to make sure first before I disconnect that. But I've got two. So back at the edge of the mountain fortress, where in a video that Dave just released, they brought this cargo container here for me. Got a good deal on it, and Hands and Sparks said, hey, it would be great to use for their giveaway truck. And I said, hey, that helps me out, makes it easier for me to get it out here. So I've already hooked up to my old Michigan, tried pulling it, but with all the weight on it, wants to like tip me back when I'm pulling. So I've reset it up, so I have another chain going to my front axle right there. So when I'm pulling, I'm not trying to pull up high where it wants to tip me over. I'm pulling down low. I'm only using the bucket to just bring this end up off the ground. So I got to drag that thing up and around and up there. So it's going to be a bumpy ride. That's a little bit of a problem. It rained last night. It would just have to rain right before I'd have to bring this thing up. And it's just enough. And I just can't get a grip. Just on the edge right there. I basically need another piece of equipment to help pull on this. I'm actually sort of surprised. I thought all my wheels on this thing drove, but apparently not. Thought I had, oh well, I thought all wheels operated when I was in four-wheel drive, but apparently that's not the case. I tried the two-wheel and four-wheel shift, but I guess that's just to engage front and rear. I guess there's still just regular diffs. Haven't had this thing before, had this problem before. This thing always pulled something, but of course I also pulled it when it was dry. So I'm gonna see what I can do. If I can, I'm just got to leave it here till tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be dry enough then. The sun's just starting to come out. Well, at least I can get the table up. So I've got that loaded up. Put that up there where I'm working, and then probably, hopefully tomorrow it'll be all dried up and I can pull the cargo container up. I'm back up here at the base of the fortress, working to pull this 40-foot cargo container all the way up to where we have it up there. However, I plan to go around the side, but this weighs way more than I thought. I mean, the cargo container itself is like rated about 85,000 pounds, but with all that other shop stuff in there, I figured 1,000 or so pounds, but no. I mean, it is so heavy that my rough terrain forklift can't lift one side of it, and it should be able to, at least if it was empty, but it's got stuff in there, and my poor Michigan could not bring it up that hill, because the hill's at a slant and up, and so it would basically almost want to tip over. So it's going to take the long way and go up the main road, get it all the way up there, and then pull it back to where these right above us right here. So just going to do that. Looks like we broke a chain, so now I'm going to double up right there. Yeah, pulling that. Snap that sucker right off real good. So That's how we do it. Powered it up. And now we got it here. It's like once I get moving, I just want to keep moving and not stop. And well, almost like graded the road in a way. So now I got to clear up right here. I'm going to put it in right here. Well, we've been working really hard. Up by that, we finally got the cargo container set up right here. And it was much heavier than I expected. In fact, my big rough terrain forklift cannot even lift it off the ground on one side. All this shelving is made out of really thick metal. I mean, this is like 1/8 inch steel. Like these are too, bent over. So we're going through cleaning up, just putting stuff away. Right, Les?
Yes, sir.
And we found some weird, looks like cutting torches or welder. They have like oxyacetylene setups for them and tracks for them. Not sure exactly what it is. I guess it's a setup and a bunch of fittings for it. Guess they're designed that you set it on a track to cut a nice straight line. So we got a whole bunch of different stuff here. I've never seen this stuff before. I'll have to figure out what that's for. We're gonna get our bench here all cleaned off and start organizing everything. I gotta make a door for this. So I'll be taking some measurements to make the door at Sparks Motors and just put it in here. I'll probably make a very small frame that will fit in here. And you know, put some angle right here and then make the door. I got to cut some of this back out here. I just cut it real quick, but wow, it's really nice. I mean, that was probably the best $300 I spent, but it was pretty scary trying to get this thing here. It is exceedingly heavy. I mean, yeah, I mean, for an empty cargo container, 8,500 pounds. It's way more than that. And it took everything I could to get it here. So we're just gonna clean up and I don't know how much time, if we're even going to get this weekend back over to the underground bunker exchange area. So we're gonna keep working here and we'll see we're gonna do next. All right, well, Les and I have just finished up for the day. So what do you think of it?
I love it.
Yeah.
6 more of them.
Yeah, don't I wish. So we got it all like taken care of. We got it cleaned up. We just put a couple of the items in here, locked this up, and got a whole place in there for the tools when I get the tools. So I guess I am going to call it a day and for a video. So we're just working bits by bit each day, and now we have a little mini shop that'll help us out on working on the underground bunker and stuff. So thanks everyone for watching. Please subscribe, please hit the like and hit the notifications, and I'll see you on the next video.